The early daylight cascaded over the metallic contours of Maplewood Diner, an establishment where the aroma of melted butter and sweet syrup typically offered solace and security. Yet on this specific morning, the sunshine failed to dispel the shadow that seeped into the souls of several heartless young men. Seated at a table beside the glass sat a young woman in a wheelchair, her dish of pancakes positioned before her like a delicate barrier against the universe. She went by the name Clara, and while her expression bore the silent resilience of one who had weathered significant hardship, her quivering fingers revealed her anxiety. The group of boys occupying the adjacent booth didn't simply ridicule her. They violated a boundary that should remain sacred. One among them struck the dish from her lap, causing the meal to tumble onto the checkered floor, while another thrust her wheelchair backward with a taunting force. The establishment went still. The cackling of the tormentors echoed more prominently than the crash of descending dishes. Clara's vision blurred with moisture. She fought desperately to suppress it, yet shame seared more intensely than physical suffering. If you hold the conviction that compassion must always triumph over malice, that opportunities for redemption hold significance, and that nobody warrants such treatment, pause at this very moment to like this video, leave a comment, distribute it among others, and subscribe to Untold Stories 0.4. United, we can demonstrate to the world that empathy possesses greater strength than animosity. Clara's existence had been perpetually challenging. She entered the world with a vertebral disorder that made her dependent upon a wheelchair. Yet her mother and father consistently assured her that her essence was destined to ascend, regardless of her leg's inability. She held fast to this conviction, even as the world frequently appeared intent on destroying it. Daily she encountered silent observation, murmured comments, or the sympathetic expressions of unknown people who couldn't fathom her reality. However, what she experienced that morning inside the diner transcended mere sympathy. It constituted brutality piercing enough to damage the very soul. While the boys celebrated, other patrons in the establishment averted their attention. Several displayed their disapproval with head movements, yet took no action. The server, her grip occupied with coffee mugs, became motionless in the walkway, terror visible upon her features. Clara leaned forward clumsily, attempting to collect her pancakes with shaking fingers, frantic to avoid creating additional disruption. It was then that another palm extended downward, neither aggressive nor scornful but tender. An elderly gentleman, silver-haired at the sides of his head, silently retrieved the dish and positioned it once more before her. "Pay them no attention," he murmured, though his gaze shifted anxiously toward the cluster of adolescents. The gentleman's compassion resembled a tiny flame wavering within a space saturated with darkness. Nevertheless, Clara continued to feel vulnerable, damaged in manners invisible to others. She remained quiet thereafter, her hunger vanished, her windpipe constricted with unuttered thoughts. She longed to question why existence functioned in this manner, why individuals considered it permissible to torment those who differed from them. Her cardiac organ pounded within her ribcage with every explosion of amusement from the tormentors who presently boasted audibly about their courage, unaware of the viciousness of their conduct. Clara shut her eyelids and wished for the 60 minutes to elapse swiftly for the ordeal to conclude. 60 minutes afterward, something unanticipated occurred, something that altered the complete atmosphere of the establishment. It commenced as a subdued vibration, nearly resembling a thunderstorm. Attention redirected toward the expansive transparent panes as the noise intensified, becoming more recognizable. Scores of motorcycles advanced into the parking area, their reflective surfaces gleaming beneath the sunlight. The spectacle by itself proved sufficient to silence discussions and suspend utensils in motion. The unmistakable emblem of the Hells Angels was displayed prominently on their high jackets as they stationed themselves in an impeccable formation, motors snarling like an advancing tempest. The tormentors, who mere moments prior conducted themselves with superiority, abruptly became agitated. Their conceited expressions wavered. All present recognized the standing of the Hells Angels, formidable, bold, and willing to maintain their position. As the entrance to the establishment swung inward, the chimes sounded delicately, yet the quietness that ensued proved more deafening than anything. A massive figure with facial hair and eyes like hardened metal entered, his garment weighty with emblems. Following him came a second individual, and subsequently a third, until the establishment seemed more confined, its atmosphere saturated with strain. Clara's vision expanded, her heartbeat accelerating with both alarm and amazement. The figure at the forefront examined the space, his observation penetrating as it traversed the tormentors. Subsequently, his expression gentled upon discovering Clara. It appeared as if he comprehended the entire situation without any verbal exchange. He advanced closer, his footwear substantial against the checkered surface, and lowered himself adjacent to her. For the initial occasion since that morning, Clara experienced no diminishment. She experienced visibility, security. The commander, identified as Roar, rotated his skull gradually toward the tormentors. They remained immobilized, blanched faces exposing their culpability. Nobody ventured to produce laughter presently. Roar's vocal projection was subdued, measured, yet forceful enough to penetrate the stillness. Although Clara couldn't perceive his precise language, she witnessed the mortification cascade over the tormentors' countenances as their false confidence dissolved. Individually, they extracted themselves from the seating and lurched toward the departure, skulls bowed, evading every observation. They didn't venture to encounter Clara's vision once more. Beyond the structure, the motorcycles constructed a barricade of metal and hide, guaranteeing the boys' degradation reached completion before their escape. However, Roar didn't cease his actions there. He summoned the server, deposited a substantial banknote upon the surface, and instructed her to deliver Clara whatever she desired. Pancakes, a blended beverage, pastry, the entire selection if she preferred. He informed her she possessed greater fortitude than any of the spineless individuals who had attempted to shatter her essence. Subsequently, in an act nobody within that establishment would ever disregard, he detached his personal hide garment, positioned it carefully across Clara's upper body, and declared her now kinship. Moisture descended Clara's features, not moisture of degradation, but moisture of appreciation. Within that solitary 60 minutes, her existence had transformed. What commenced as a morning of anguish evolved into an instant of deep metamorphosis. She comprehended kindness can emerge from improbable sources, and that occasionally the most intimidating appearing individuals possess the most compassionate spirits. The establishment burst into subdued recognition, certain customers removing moisture from their vision. The server embraced Clara, vowing to her that she'd never subsequently occupy space in that establishment experiencing invisibility. For the initial occasion in an extended period, Clara sensed a wave of optimism. She comprehended that although brutality persisted, so did bravery, and occasionally unknown individuals could intervene to reconstruct the conclusion of your narrative. If this narrative has affected your spirit and reminded you that compassion can emerge even in the most improbable of locations, please pause to like this video, distribute it among acquaintances, subscribe to Untold Stories 0.4, and deposit a comment beneath. Your encouragement assists us in continuing to circulate narratives that uplift and restore. Prior to our conclusion, I possess one particular appeal. Write beneath what actions you would have executed if you had been present in that establishment that day. Would you have defended Clara? Your expression might motivate another individual to respond with bravery when their opportunity arrives.